Hello, welcome to I guess the podcast. I'm not gonna talk with this in this ASMR voice. I just still I don't know how I'm gonna do this. So yeah, if you've seen my previous video, you've probably seen that I wanted to do a podcast a podcast type of thing, and I really do. I just I've realized that it is harder than it looks. Because there's hours and hours of time I could fill talking about the MicroVolts days, toy heroes, and all that stuff. It's just that most of it is it's far out of reach. Like my brain can't remember those days. I was going through screenshots and gameplay, and the prime time of me, like when I played MicroVolts, was like somewhere around 2014 to 2015, and we're already like almost halfway through 2019, so everything is pretty far away. But I'm gonna still try to just talk about here's and there's my experience with the game. Just do a podcast type of thing. In the background, you're gonna see old MicroVolts footage running. I just honestly grabbed all the clips I still had on my PC, and I put them together. So you're gonna see pretty bad gameplay, me being salty, just the whole bunch. But I thought, what's better than actual MicroVolts gameplay for a MicroVolts podcast? So that's kind of it. Premise is this: I'm gonna talk, and then you're gonna listen. Nah. Yeah, I'm just gonna talk about the days. And I'm looking at the gameplay as well, so if I don't really have anything to say, I'm just gonna fall back on that. But this is a very experimental kind of thing for me, so I'm gonna have moments where I don't know what to say, but that's okay. That's okay. So yeah, that's kind of the point of the podcast. Mainly, you can just kind of put this on, relax. Hopefully, my voice is somehow relaxing, and just remember the days, remember how fun it was back in the day, as I try to recall everything. So what I've noticed is that if I'm alone, this is kind of hard to do. So I'm gonna do this episode. Will probably be pretty short, and then I'm gonna try to just get people to do this with for next episodes, because I feel like I'm gonna be able to fill more time doing that. And you'll get to hear other people talk about it and stuff. I got a couple ideas as to who I want to do this with, but that's all for next phase. So yeah, what are we gonna talk about? In this episode I'm just gonna talk about like the small things I can still remember. How the game went, ups and downs. So I guess I'm gonna start with how I got into toy heroes. Not toy heroes, MicroVolts. By the way, the clip you're looking at right now is me leveling up to level 49 or something, and somehow I thought it was a good idea to record that. So if you're wondering why the fuck I recorded single wave, that's why. I still remember that. Oh yeah, okay. So how did I get into the game? The game launched, I think 2011 somewhere. And well, I think I started playing. Let me think. I think I started playing around 2012. But I didn't think much of it. I played it with friends from school, mainly like two friends who also lived across me in the street. But I didn't play the game all too much. It's just casual and stuff. And then I think a year later, or maybe like at the end of 2012, start 2013, one of my friends, I don't know how I got onto it, but I somehow mentioned this game, and he played the game too, which I thought was really weird. So we played together, and I think that was when I started to actually enjoy the game more and more. Those were also the days I started, paying for the game, buying RT and all of that stuff. Started learning how to play the maps. Started just swap all of those basic stuff. started to learn about which weapons I could use and stuff. So I think up until level 30, I played mainly just with that one friend or alone. But then around level 30, I got into a clan. I'm trying to think of how I got into it. I'm not 100% sure, but it was called Pringles back in the day. And I stayed in that clan for quite a while. I had quite some prestige there as well, or clan contribution, I guess. And that's where I started meeting people. I think, well, like a couple of months into that, I switched clan because, well, wait, let me think. Yeah, I don't remember how exactly it went, but I switched clan because there was like people in another clan and they were pretty chill, and that was the clan, as you can see in the gameplay right now in basically all of my videos, the clan I stayed in for a really long time. And those were the clan's called Sky Monkey, by the way. Those are also the people I started calling with and playing with, which was a new experience for me because at the time I was like 13, 14. Everyone in the clan was too. We were all pretty young. But for me, the whole having Skype on and talking with people, that was new, and it was definitely a real fun experience. Those were also, I mean, I don't talk to all of those people anymore, or not too many of them, or even any. Like I sometimes still send a message to one of them, but those people were, they were really good friends, and I feel like out of all the games I played back in those days, MicroVolts was the game where I met the coolest people, made really, really good friends, people I can genuinely trust, and I feel like that is a very golden thing in video games. Like even if you're young, you trust people more often, but you still, it's nice. It really is. So yeah, those were the Sky Monkey days. I started calling with people I played with. We started doing clan wars. We started taking everything serious. And yeah, I don't really know what else I can say about that. I don't really remember like the timeline or like when everything happened. I just know those days were probably the better ones in the history of MicroVolts. Okay, so that's the clan old me. I'll just mention that when I used to play Toy Heroes, I keep saying Toy Heroes, MicroVolts. When I first got into it, I also played Battlefield Heroes. I'll put something on the screen that shows what that is. And I also played DC Universe Online, which I still play to this day. Those were kind of my three games, just to kind of give a perspective. So the toy shooter is kind of an odd one out there. Yeah. God, this is awkward. What do I talk about? You're gonna see. I guess to kind of jump back onto the clan and people I talk to and stuff. You're gonna see certain names pop up in these gameplay videos. I'll probably do I guess shoutouts to everyone I can still properly remember at the end of the video or something. I don't know. Yeah, names that you see reoccurring here are probably the people that I talk dearly of, but I don't really talk to any of them anymore. I guess I'll talk about the microtransaction part of this game. Obviously, as with every game, it is kind of a problem, because MicroVolts was mainly populated by younger people, children, ages 12 to 16 maybe, and the game was pretty pay to win. Same with Toy Heroes right now, I believe. Even the people that played full CSD still spend, or exavolts. Oh, that's something I can talk about. Let me just write that down. See, exavolts. even those people still paid a lot of money to play this game, and I don't regret it necessarily. I think because a lot of people say like, oh, you spent money on games, it's temporary, the money's gone now, you're wasting it. And I certainly understand why people would feel that way, but I personally always kind of had that mentality of if you're gonna spend money on clothes, well, if you're a kid, you can just make your parents buy those clothes. So I mean, the money's still wasted, but or like it's still spent, although you're not spending it. If you want to spend it on alcohol, if you're a little older, which you know people do, that's also just gone to waste. And you can say, oh, you know, alcohol makes me more social, I meet more people, I get out more. And yeah, okay, sure, that's true, but so does gaming, I guess. Like, in the end, you're still wasting money. I agree, but I never really felt bad about it. And yeah, it was really addictive. Like the marketing was well done, especially with the capsule machine. The way like you have to spend so much money to get these kind of things. God, I remember. I'll talk about the loadout I'm wearing right now. So oh damn, I'm gonna write this one down. Okay, I'm getting ideas as I talk. I think the clothes I was wearing, like with this Naomi clip right here, were MP capsule things. Okay, I really hope my voice is synced up too. If my voice is not synced up, I'm referring to a PVC clip where I'm playing as Naomi with the kimono, which was MP capsule. But then again, MP capsule, like, yes, MP was free, but you also had to spend a lot of money to get MP if you wanted to make it hurry up. So game pay to win. I'm wearing those accessories, the what do you call them? The rainbow? No, the rain accessories. Sorry, the umbrella and stuff. Those were pretty rare actually. I remember buying the rain. How would you call that? Like rain-proof clothes, I guess. I remember buying them and selling the entire set besides the accessories for MP. And I regretted that later on because when trade system came around, those could have sold for fucking a lot of money. But yeah, I sold them, and I still have those accessories, which they were probably one of my proudest cosmetics I had in the game. I love those. But yeah, on the topic of pay to win, you know, you could say, yeah, you know, you play full CSD if you're skilled, you know, it doesn't matter. Yeah, you're right, but also if you had if you were full CSD and you had to play against someone who had full god weapons, mainly Hermes and Zeus, you stood no chance, especially if they were a little skilled. So the game was terribly pay to win. It wasn't just cosmetics. Although when it came to cosmetics, people still paid a fucking ton. And Isadora, the coupon sets, all of that stuff. And then on the topic of cosmetics as well, I talked about this in a video too, but I guess I'll go more in depth. The Raptor set back in the day, that was basically they announced that they were gonna partner up with Raptor, and what you would have to do is just play a lot, maybe do missions. I'm not exactly sure, and then you would get a certain amount of points. And then with those points, you could redeem them for the Raptor sets. And I think, let me actually try to Google this. MicroVolts Raptor. I see 2K13. Yeah, so this was in August 2K13, so that meant I was 13 years old. And I had a curfew. Well, not really a curfew, but I had a bedtime back in the day. So I played a lot with the Raptor thingies because I really wanted them. And then when time came around, I'd realized that you would need to, I would need to stay up late to get it. And that was a big issue for me because I wouldn't say my parents were insanely strict, but yeah, I had to be, I had to ask him, really, I had to beg basically just to stay up late. And I remember that pretty fondly, although it was 6 years ago. or almost 6 years ago. But yeah, they allowed me to stay up late, and I got the Raptor set. And I don't know how many people got it, but it was pretty rare. It was pretty rare, and I'm also really proud of that. But the only thing is, I'll write this down too. Tanking and speed. The set was in tank, or well, however that was called. I think it was called tank. And around that area, I started to like hate people that tank. Some clips may have me tanking, but I'm not a fan of that. Always been the run speed type of person mainly. So that was why I didn't really use the Raptor set a lot, and a lot of the times, you know, it was the only tank item I had in my. Oh, look at this rifle clip. I really hope my voice is synced up. Oh no, okay. Yeah, so that was the only tank parts I used. And I remember when it came out, 2K13, I never played Nox. But back in the day, the Raptor set was deletable. Like, you can only delete it, you wouldn't be able to sell it. But then like a year later, I think, when I still didn't play Nox a lot, they made it sellable, which meant you got a lot of MP for selling it. So I sold it on Nox, and that's probably one of my bigger regrets in MicroVolts, because later on I started playing Nox more, and well, I really wanted that Raptor set on Nox. But yeah, I guess that kind of flows into the trading system. I'll talk about that a little. I don't know when exactly it was released. I guess I could Google it too. Why not? MicroVolts trading. 14. Yeah, I think it was. Okay, so Zane's Rock You uploaded a video in 2014, somewhere August. So I'm assuming that is when it came out. It was probably one of the most anticipated thingies everyone wanted, because some people had old rare parts on accounts they didn't use. Some people had god weapons they were gonna trade for real life money and all that stuff. So people begged for a trading system for a really long time, and then lo and behold, they finally released it, and you were required to have seals, which meant, I think I'm not 100% sure, but I think when they first released it, you had to spend like $100, like 50, to get a big package of things, and then in that big package of things, you had one singular seal. So trading was really expensive. I think they did change it later, where it cost like what, $10 or like $5 to get one seal, which is still too expensive for a trading system. But in their defense, they didn't need to make money, or they wanted to make money, I guess. Because if you just let people trade for free, you could let people have, 7 alt accounts and just trade everything over. So that's why they went against that. Yeah, trading system was pretty cool. I ended up giving away some stuff at the end of MicroVolts when I didn't play it anymore to some friends. I also sold some stuff, but I mean, who cares? I spent that money on way dumber shit now. So yeah, that was the trading system. It was one of the better things MV added, but it also allowed for a lot of scammers to get away with stuff, especially because it was buggy sometimes. Like, you would have to be on the same server. You would have to like the circumstance. I don't remember exactly, but circumstances had to be pretty perfect, and they weren't always perfect because of lag or servers or just anything. Yeah, trading system. Let me just what else can I talk about? Damn. Okay, I'm gonna just dedicate a segment to the ACME cannon real quick. You're not gonna catch me playing with the ACME or Acme cannon like ever. Wait, my rival's level 7, right? Yeah. Because I had a distinct hatred for that. And let me actually write this down too. I'll get into it later, but I was younger back then. MV were probably one of my more toxic days. You may even see it in chat that I'm just toxic. I'm mad. Yeah, so ACME was basically, it was the shotgun that you could get for free, which would usually one-shot you, and that shit's messed up. Like, that shit's messed up, especially in a game where pay to win was such a big thing. Just fucking throw out a free weapon that would one-hit everything. And like the KW existed back then, it had a slower fire rate, but you could just swap with the ACME, so it didn't matter at all. Let me just quickly say, if my voice is synced, I really hope my voice is synced. I'm probably gonna try to sync it. This is a melee only clan war. I guess I'll talk about this real quick. There was a glitch, which I think I found out. I mean, at least I didn't see any videos on YouTube, and I did make a video about it as the first one on YouTube. And I never had it before until I found the glitch. So I do think I am the one that found the glitch, but I'm not gonna take credit for that. It was a glitch to do melee only clan wars. So basically, you would just like your clan could be prepared, and the other clan would have no idea that the glitch went through. Like no weapons would do damage, bazookas and shotties just wouldn't shoot, and only melees would be able to hit people. Yeah, we won a lot of clan wars that way, pretty toxic. But yeah, ACME cannon, terrible weapon, I hate it, absolutely hate it. It was one of my most hated thingies, along with the Hermes and the Zeus. Although I did use Zeus myself, because I was a trashy kiddo. Yeah, I'll just talk about that. Wait, I talked about these and these. I'll talk about why I had such a big issue with it, because I still get mad at video games. Don't get me wrong. I'm not toxic anymore, but I'm still very angry often with games. MicroVolts was like that game that I played a lot with I mean, it doesn't really matter that I played it with other people, but at the age of like 13, 14, 15, so I was a really angry person back in the day. I wasn't necessarily toxic to everyone. I was just like, whenever we lost games and stuff, or whenever I died unfairly, so to speak, I would be really mad. And I remember those days, you know. Remember using bad words, remember saying bad things to bad people, so bad things to people that did like kill me or stuff, you know. I regret that, but then again, I understand, you know, I was a kid. I'm not gonna hold that to myself for the rest of my life. Let me just write this down real quick. Yeah, I was toxic. I really was. Let me talk about tournaments real quick as well. As much as I remember from it, the first big tournament MicroVolts did was ExaVolts or ExaWars. I think ExaVolts. Let me just Google that. ExaVolts, MicroVolts. Does that give me anything? Yeah, these were tournaments back when I started playing. When I didn't even know MicroVolts was a game, but I knew it was a game, but I wasn't playing it. I wasn't playing it all too much. ExaVolts was basically like this MP only. Oh my god, let me write. Think of so many things. Wait, ExaVolts was like this MP only thing back in the day when it was still MicroVolts, not MicroVolts Search, but I'll talk about that later. And you would have like, it would just be no tank, basic set MP weapons, but ACME cannon shit didn't exist back then, so. And then the winner of that would get those chip styles, the ones that like the gray, the blue, the purple robot types that you would see in how'd you call this, like the single wave thingy. I'll just put a screenshot on screen if I don't forget. Let me just ExaVolts. Do I find it that way? No. Okay. Well, you know what I'm talking about. I hope you do. And then that was followed by CSD, but I think CSD was MicroVolts Surge days. Yeah, I think it was. yeah, CSD was kind of like the same, but instead of just all MP, it was still all MP, all blue or green weapons. So you know the basic ones like usually would be steel hammer, pepper, KW, seagull, pulse, but you were not allowed to have a bazooka. So your bazooka would just be the stingray, which is the basic one. And CSD was like, after that tournament came out, that was kind of like the go-to norm for skilled players. Like you would join FFA rooms and you would just play CSD. That kind of set people apart, like, or that not necessarily set them apart, but that it categorized people into, you know, RT noobs, spammers, and all that stuff. And wait, am I toxic in this clip? Okay. I don't know, maybe I am. But that set those people apart from the people that actually, you know, played really skillfully by playing with the free weapons. And then another tournament I distinctly remember because I played in it was the Battery Bonanza tournament, and that one was basically a capture the battery only tournament, where you were only allowed to have those, you know, those basic weapons, but you were also allowed to have the advanced versions of them. And also a bazooka. I believe. I'm not 100% sure, but I think bazookas were allowed. So you could have like an advanced bucket rocket with a regular pulse, and like, or you could just have full advanced or full non-advanced. It didn't really matter. And that was the first tournament I played in. It was 3v3. It was the only tournament I played in because I never really considered myself to be distinctly great at the game. So, you know, I wasn't gonna play. Why am I playing Zeus only here? I think I'm trolling. I was playing, you know, I wasn't playing competitively as far as competitively goes in MicroVolts. But that was the tournament I joined. We were with 3 of us, and we actually got 2nd place, which I'm personally proud of. I remember a lot of people calling me a hacker then. Like that was probably, maybe it was like a turning point in my ego, although I never really felt like the best player ever. But having a tournament and having like people calling me a hacker, and then the mods in the tournament saying like don't worry about it, just ignore it. That was pretty cool. I remember that. But we lost. I don't know how many maps the final was, but we lost on let me think. On Castle? Not Gothic Castle. Okay, let me actually look up the map. We lost to Dead Mines team. I don't know who else was in there. MicroVolts maps, MicroVolts search. Let me look it up real quick. I remember this really well. No, not Castle. Magic Paperland. That's where we lost. That was kind of sad. But you know, that's okay. We got through it. Felt pretty good. There wasn't a prize connecting to that either, so most tournaments had prizes, and at the start of that one they wait, is this the same clip? I think I'm reusing the same clip here. I'm sorry, but I'm not gonna edit it. Just saying. Oh no, it isn't. It's just me spamming Zeus again. Okay. Where was I? That was the first tournament, and where they, or not the first, but that was one of them where they were like, yeah, we might do a prize, but we're not sure of it yet. And everyone speculated that we may be able to get the Wrath Crown, however it's spelled or pronounced, and then the Exavolts chipset. But lo and behold, there were no rewards, which at the time was sad. But I mean, honestly, who cares? Free shit's good, but I'm not gonna stress about it. But yeah, on the topic of that, of you know, early tournament, later tournaments, MicroVolts Search. As some of you may know, you know, MicroVolts used to be the old game, the one that it all started off with. Everything went good, you know, for like 2 years, something, like 3 years. I don't know when they did the change, but then all of a sudden, Rock Paper Productions, they changed it up and they brought out a massive release. They released Kai, I believe. He got released with MicroVolts Search, who was in another, like, an Asian version of the game, and everyone wanted him in MicroVolts, and they finally released him. That was good. They changed, like, everything so that your HP would be doubled, but then certain weapons would be doubled and a certain not. So like they kind of like to balance everything out, but in the end it didn't really change anything, to be honest. They added that they added the lobby where you could like you do parkour, you can just mess around. I don't know if Toyers does that. I kind of still miss it. I kind of actually miss it. I might check that out in a sec. I don't really remember what it's called. It's basically you can chill in lobby, but then after a while they made it into its own map, so you wouldn't be able to chill in the lobby anymore. They also made it so that weapons could go from 5 to level 9, which was one of the greatest updates. Because I love the cosmetics connected to higher level weapons. So the old MicroVolts days, let's say a red weapon or an RT weapon would shoot red unless if it's a grenade launcher, and would look red if it was level 5. Then with the MicroVolt Surge update, that level 5 would just look red, but it wouldn't shoot red anymore. And then as you go from 6, 7, 8, 9, level 6 would have the color level 2 would, level 7 to level 3, you know. Oh, that guy's hacking, okay. And in the end, level 8 would look like a level 4, and it would have yellow lighting, or green for a MP one. And level 9 one would look red. Obviously, if it's an advanced version, other weapons wouldn't change color, but I think most people know that. And it would look red, and that red was like you can see it in most of these clips. That was like one of the nicest things the game had. I left that part of. That was like the only reason I leveled up my weapons, because of that. I mean, they probably did it for that reason, but I loved it. That's MicroVolt Surge. Okay. I think one more thing I'm going to talk about was melee only. I'm gonna be straight up. Like, melee only was there were two MicroVolts. There was the gamer type of MicroVolts, which was all weapons, and there was the drama, girly kind of MicroVolts that was melee only. Melee only was like where the girls played, where the guys that were hanging with the girls played, where the people that wanted drama played, and it was. I didn't play a lot of melee, but you know, I kind of remember some of that, because MicroVolts was also like one of those was the first game where I like, you know, where I played with girls. Like, it sounds like the most normal thing ever, but you know, as a 14 or 13-year-old guy, you know, boys only school and that kind of stuff, it was like a new world for me. It was super cringy, of course, but you know, that's what it's like. You know, you meet people, you got some friends there, and then, you know, you do melee only, or you do the whole no kill thingy, but like half of the drama, or like no, 80% of the drama between people was on those melee only servers. It was ridiculous, but it did make for some entertaining games. Yeah, honestly, like, I wish I could have someone who has more experience with the whole melee only thing on this podcast, so I can talk about that stuff with them. Maybe. But yeah, I feel like that's all. Let me just see real quick. So one of the people I asked to do the podcast with just responded. So, you know, maybe look forward to that. Maybe look forward to the next one. I'm not gonna spoil who it is yet, because maybe if something goes wrong, then that's awkward. I don't know. I kind of want to make like a shout out list to all the people that I like played with and that I distinctly remember from MicroVolts. That would kind of be unfair, because there's some that I can't think about from the top of my head that would definitely make the list. Like, I can't edit this. There was people like I played with in 2K13 whose name I don't really remember, but still left an impact on me. So I may make a list. I don't know. I'll work on that later. I'll make a list of like people that I distinctly remember. But yeah, I'll just ramble on until this clip's done, or honestly, I'll just let this clip play out because I don't really know what to say anymore. But if you enjoyed this, please let me know. I would greatly appreciate some feedback. Also, I'm going to put some music in the background, so give me feedback on that as well. But yeah, oh dude, that direct shot. Okay, yeah, thank you for watching. Give me some feedback. Look forward to the next one. I hope to do a couple of these because this podcast idea seems pretty fun. But yeah, I don't know how to end this video. Kind of feels like this is the end of MicroVolts. Oh, I didn't even talk about that. I didn't. Oh. You know what? That's for another day. Well, that is genuinely for another day. Yeah, thank you for watching. Look forward to the next one, and I'll catch you people later.